Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Apologies for the wait. We had a slight logistics issue earlier, but we are here. All the players are here. Nebula Punda has fixed his internet, and today I'm your caster, Digital QF, with, of course, Temporal. And tonight we are bringing you a best of 3, top 16 Valorant Oceanic Tour 2021. This game will be between OverPalaStrike and Nebula. Temporal, take it away.
This is the match that counts, Digital. The top 8 from the open qualifiers will be going through to the closed qualifiers next week. So this is the round you must win to guarantee your spot there. Anything going forward is simply seeding to give you a better chance in the closed qualifiers and consequently the stage final. But that's all in the future. Right now, we're focused here on these two teams, Nebula and OverPalaStrike. Two teams you know if you've been watching Valorant. I hope to God you've been watching Valorant in the last few months since it's been released, because these two teams have been around. OverPalaStrike in particular, I've really loved watching. They are one of the most consistent lineups in the Oceanic Valorant scene. They've been together through thick and thin over the course of, I believe, every Ignition Series event. First Strike last year as well. Thank you, Digital, for letting me know how to follow your point of view.
No worries.
So OverPalaStrike, you may know the name. You may think, weren't they Kanga? Yes, they were picked up. They were OverPalaStrike. They got picked up by Kanga. They're now back to being OverPalaStrike. Nebula, a newer team. They've made a couple of upgrades since First Strike, and I'm curious to see, Digital, how that plays out. Nothing particularly special coming out of this team. So Osrhino on the Sage will be one to watch for.
Yeah, right off the bat right now, OverPalaStrike, Nebula actually going on for a hard C rush, and 2 players already down thanks to Minimize with a classic, and Nebula, that's a really clean side take. Wildfire shock darts to deny the plant just a little bit, has done some damage, but OverPalaStrike, they are one man down, Wildfire really close, and gets outmanned, outgunned. Down to the last 2 players, reloaded by himself now, and Nebula, losing only 1 player, they take the pistol round that quickly in a flurry of action. What do you make of that?
Well, that's the way you want to play your attack. Sometimes you got to get in there and go, and in the pistol round, the defenders aren't going to have much to work with, so they've got to take a gamble, spread themselves, and try and figure out where you're coming from, and that's exactly how you want to play those opening rounds. And now, OverPalaStrike, Nebula, aren't going to be wasting any time whatsoever, picking up quite a little bit. Actually, Nice Hacks in particular are going straight to the Marshal, so looking to make an impact straight away.
Yeah, but he's getting peeks from 2 angles, and he narrowly actually just misses a player out A long, and currently reloaded. This is a force by, I just realized, by OverPalaStrike. They're forcing right back straight into Nebula. So it really just continues to get these early picks. Wow, reloaded! He did so much good damage, but Minimize! Nice hacks, managed to get the headshot, a crack on the 1 HP. Jesse picks up composed mid, and overall, OverPalaStrike, second round on a force buy. Things are going disastrously, Temporal.
Yeah, not looking good. So often teams will save for that third round, but I guess OverPalaStrike just hoping for trying something different, maybe that Nebula isn't expecting out of them, and given how well these players probably know each other, maybe throwing something weird into the works is the way to get things done. But right now, Nebula have all the position they could want. They run into the bucket of Onyx. Pulls a foul. That one, bang, away again. The Cypher is on fire. This is not looking good for Nebula all of a sudden. They've lost a few players and they've given up some weapons.
Jesse actually getting a little bit antsy and just shooting at people as his teammate. Now, if Friendly Fire was on in this game, that Cypher would be dead. Now, Wildfire by himself, 1v2, and oh no, perhaps pre-firing out of the Cyber Cage was a little bit too aggressive. It just gave away his position, and when you're in such a narrow corridor, there's only one possible position to be spraying at. Down he goes, 2-0 for Nebula.
A nice save there from Nebula, though. It was looking dicey once Chronic was lighting them up, but now they can take really another bonus round here because OverPalaStrike invested into the last round. They got nothing much to work with. They're going to invest a little bit, reloaded this time, picking up the Bucky. But now this is Nebula's round to win. Nice Hack's going to be sitting on top of that, picking up that Sheriff light armor. It's the Jet a bit slow off the mark, but hey, when you got players like Jesse popping off, you're not too worried for the moment.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And Nebula, they aren't playing the bonus round because, well, they won the previous, and right now they're playing really slow and passive, just trying to figure out where on the map to hit, which coincidentally is exactly what OverPalaStrike are doing as well. Very standard defense, slightly edged towards the left side of the map, but they lost the Force Buy, so they really would ideally be trying to win this round. But Nebula, the full stack towards the A site. Chronix playing offside, off of the scams, and well, let's see what happens. Off the bat.
The hit is going down on A. Everyone's on site. Rhino waiting in the smoke is going to have a nice little duel. Nice Axe marches in. Doesn't quite expect the Sage to be waiting so boldly. It's given the defense an opening. Reloader pops back on, gets gunned down. Nice little trade there. So far, numbers with OverPalaStrike. And Nebula hasn't been able to get the spike down just yet.
Oh, this is good. Wonder, he used the runner back, picked up a Phantom, and now automatically he retreats to a safe position. Now managed to plant the spike as well, so that's good for his team. Nebula down to the last 3 players, but they do have a gun advantage. A Kraken though, by himself, good for one. That flashbang I think was from Punda perhaps. It saved his life. Jesse and Punda, the last 2 players left. Down to Jesse, Sova v Sova. And the defuse is
at close range!
Ooh!
Oh, that was a great pickup there for Wildfowl. The diffuser's coming through, and OverPalaStrike, they get their first round win on the board. And what a round to do it. Now we're going to see a gun round, I think, out of both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Yeah, Nebula will be able to buy.
Yeah, Nebula, they've won, well, 2 rounds in a row. They lost 1. They should have money, because that was their bonus round. So right now, yeah, like Temporal said, it will be a full buy versus a full buy. But that previous round,
minimized a bit down. Has died every round, so a little short on credits. But aside from that,
a stinger isn't too bad either. But about that previous round, Wildfire, I did not expect him to win that duel. The Bucky out of nowhere. And well, what do you know? Nebula again. This time, mostly a full buy. They're trying to work picks, and Oz Rhino, yes, the Sage consistently playing the mid angle, gets a headshot pick onto the smoker of Nebula. Things aren't looking good, Temporal.
No, Wildflower's playing through the smoke, suspecting something might be going on down that C long end. 3 attackers stacked up there. No one on the defense really backing up. The Hunter's Fury is going to give Wildflower dodges into it. Jesse picking apart their counter Sova. They get a trade going both ways, but so far it's favoring, well, neither team actually. 3v3, make that 3v2. Chronix lurking across from A, takes care of the Jet hanging out of B, and now rushing on for Nebula. They're trying to rotate, but they're going to be stuck in a bit of a pickle with Composed playing so far forward.
Oh, I like this play from Jesse though. He got revealed by the neural theft. His teammate got taken down. He got the trade. Still 87 HP. Has a vandal. Does 1 shot to the head. So he will be able to clutch this round potentially because he has chosen the right side to hit. The last 2 players of OverPalaStrike still sitting around mid, expecting Jesse to go towards A.
And they've got the cam at A, so at least they're going to know which side this play is going down. Not only from the sound cues, but the fact that they didn't see this over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go, the rotation's on. There could be a couple of 1v1s here for Jesse. Chronix, cup off to the garage, takes care of that one, so it's not to be for the Sova. And it's now a little shopping, a little window shopping. This one, no, this skin looks rather nice, I'll take that. But OverPalaStrike, level things up.
Yeah, well, sometimes after winning a round and now tying it up with the enemy team, you sort of want to, filch the spoils of war, just pick up whatever's good on the ground. Personally, the Glitchbop 2.0 collection, I'm digging it, but it's so expensive.
One day we'll get paid for this and we'll be able to afford the skins in this game, but until then we'll have to enjoy what the pro players are pushing out.
Till then. So
we're going to see full buy-in from OverPalaStrike. They kept a little bit of what they had reloaded, picking up the op. Nebula, unfortunately, just Vandal, the only thing they're picking out of this.
Ooh. Reloaded.
Ooh.
Sees minimized.
Get out of my way.
Doesn't even pre-fire a shot. So right now...
no, probably suspect they're going for the op, but maybe wanting to save the intel that they're sitting on the op.
Yeah, maybe. But now Chronix, I like what he's doing as Cypher. A lot of teams, especially nowadays on Haven, it already being a attack-sided map, you tend to play off-site as Cypher and just play retake on A. It's decently easy retake while the action's coming through right now.
Camera taken.
Well, the rotations are coming on as well. You see a couple of players hovering around B. Everyone on the defense rushing to that. They know Nebula's here. The spike is going down courtesy of Minimize, who takes a bit of damage trying to teleport away. Now the Hunter's Fury is going to be sweeping through. So Wildflower gets a bit of damage in, a couple of spots. But Nebula come off best out of that. They've still got the numbers advantage.
Yeah, only slightly. Nice hacks. Make no mistake, he has no gun, but he has the Blaze Storms, and he actually gets the kill to Reloaded. There's one player, I think. And oh no, the manpower, the buddy system from OverPalaStrike. They get the trades. Wildfire on 3 already, and the Kraken was by himself. All 3 players of OverPalaStrike, a single shot away from death, and they survive. They make it work. Retake successful.
Yeah, you see, Nebula, they were in a rough position. They got the spike down. They get the extra credits. They had a chance, but OverPalaStrike, they played the patient game. They played, as you said, the buddy system. They knew they had the firepower advantage, and they took. I guess they took advantage of it. I'm trying not to repeat myself. Did it anyway.
Yep, they absolutely did. Like you saw, Minimize, I think he would have had a really solid opportunity to make a huge play earlier on. But, oh look, the blades. Maybe a right-click would have been more beneficial at that range. That would have been at the most extremities of the right-click fatality range. But look, they lost the round. But now they are able to fall by right back. So let's see. Looking to go towards the A side.
Two ops on the field, both the Jets picking up that, and neither going to be seeing much of anything for the moment. The attacker in A sewers. You see on the defense, looking down C long once again. Might be able to have a little fun with the Kraken, but Cypher, easy game. He's going to poke his head out, try for that orb, get one step closer to the neural theft.
Ooh.
Well, regardless of what happens over there, it's all happening on A main right now. And they've got a couple of players stacked up there on the defense as well.
Joke's over! You're
Pulled
dead!
up, running back, already rushing on the A side, and he's aware there are Cypher utils around. Gets taken down, gets intel. 2 players on A, so guys, maybe rethink the push. We can push out elsewhere.
That is going to be the name of the game. Across the map, they go all the way towards the C site. Close, not going to be seeing anything hanging out in Garage, but the rest of the team rotating their way around. Still a little presence over on the A side.
30 seconds left.
But I think that's just to cause a little confusion for the defense. Here we go. Digital, couple players. Nice hacks. Wins out the op duel, and Compose now. A lot of work to do.
Oh my! You can't be doing that, Compose! What was that blind spray down sitting right out there in the open? Sprays on 3 players of Nebula,
left.
and the push has been stopped single-handedly. A Kraken has the spike, but he no longer has the time to run over to the other side of the map and plant. Nebula, they've lost this round. I can't believe it.
That's beautiful play by Compose. They knew that's where the hit was coming from, and they'd covered Garage, so they knew the hit wasn't coming through there. You blind fire through, you might get lucky, you might get 1, maybe a little bit on 2, but to get 3 is just extra bang for your buck, and it shows, to use their name, how composed they were in that situation, knowing you'd lost the first kill in the fight. Brilliant, and OverPalaStrike, they've really put the pedal to the metal. They lost that pistol round, they lost the follow-up, but since then, they've been unstoppable. And now, look at this, they've got the full buy again. Nebula trying to buy in, a bit of half and half.
Yeah, only 2 rifles realistically. Oz Rhino, man, this guy does not lose these duels. He's been playing the same angle, I think, round after round. And oh, another one! But the buddy system from Nebula, they do get the trade.
Things looking a little better for Nebula. I mean, you wouldn't expect as OverPalaStrike to be coming in with this heavy buy and being on an even footing. We'll see if Nebula's able to take advantage of the situation. They've got heavy presence up on C. If they go now, they might be able to get there before Reloaded gets into position.
Yeah, the good thing about this round currently is OverPalaStrike, they do have roughly the right idea. All the players are grouped towards the C side-ish, and Runner the Taker's coming out. Oh, they don't check the corner, the Wildfire, good for 1! Oh, Wildfire! To the wallbang! And shot time! Brilliant. 3 kills!
Dial.
Oh, man. I can't believe it. Like, this guy, OverPalaStrike, like you said, they started off, well, I wouldn't even call it rocky, but 5 rounds in a row, and Wildflower, he played that to perfection. He got 1 kill, backs off, changes his positioning slightly, gets a wallbang kill, and then uses a shock dart to buy even more time. Damage, and will Reloaded to get into position. Reloaded only has 1 kill, he hasn't had to do anything. Well, yeah, again.
This round, is this round full buys? See a couple of ults for either team. And OverPalaStrike now, of course, playing with that resurrection in hand, so they're not going to be sweating a first death too much, as long as it's in a decent position. A lot of aggression on the right-hand side in particular. Seeing a Kraken going very deep into sewers, looking for something. There's a couple of players playing very close to the exit to sewers on site as well. But both teams going to choose to back off and once again head over to that C side.
Yep, Nebula, I think C is the name of their game right now. They keep going for C. Composed, I like the off angle.
No.
Oh no, the jump.
Wildflower knows you're there. Beware, Nebula.
Oh no. Oh, not really. Oh no, the trade's actually going back and forth. 3-on-3. It's all tied up right now. It was a kill with the rifle and then instant trade back with the Hunter's Fury, I think. Now OverPalaStrike, the man down. For once, Nebula, they managed to take sight reasonably clean, brute force it on, and win it through manpower.
And Reloader dropped the op as well. Not willing to take that into this fight, and why would you? It's all going to be close range duels. You could see a little 1v1 on the point in garage, but right now Chronic sneaking up behind. Unfortunately, Nebula is ready and waiting for the Cypher to be there. Reloader does get the drop on Jesse, so now with those two players down the end of C long, maybe a little opening, but the Cloud Burst, they disappear a little faster now. Mr. Digital and Nice Hacks will take advantage of that. Reloaded down. Nebula get one back on the board.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. Reloaded, he didn't really have a choice that round. He had limited utility. You are a Jet. Your Cloud Bursts last 4 seconds now. They used to be 7, but it has been nerfed slightly because I think it was too overpowered for a defuse. 7-second defuse, more or less. 7-second smoke. But that round, look, 1v2, his chances were slim to none.
Just looking at the ultimate status at least. Plenty available for OverPalaStrike should they need it. Nebula, they got the Neural Theft. Nice Hacks one away from the Blades as well. Oh no, Reloaded. Persistence pays off. It's been sitting on that A side every round since picking up dot. Finally find some value with it. And not wasting any time. They're actually going to stick down that A main. Looking for some value, but no one from Nebula wants to take that fight.
Ooh. I like that play from Ozrhino. He was at the edge, so if he won the duel, good for him. But since he was so far back, even if he realizes he can't get the kill, he just back off. And yeah, like you said, back to aiming, Reloaded. However, he's a huge blockade in their pathway. Please! Oh! Hold me! No! Clip that! Did you see that happen? That's the first triple collab I've ever...
Oh my word, Reloaded clipped that shit. The ace in the space of 60 seconds.
Oh!
Oh my word. Look, they had the right idea. Triple peek there. Oh, you can't shoot them all, but you know what? Maybe you can.
Oh my god, this is the first, I think this is actually the first triple collat in an official match in Valorant. I'm so certain. Someone clip this, tweet it, that is history right there by Reloaded of OverPalaStrike.
Get out of my way!
Good lord, that's a way to get one back on the board, and yeah, no one is poking their head around this time. They know Reloaded is going to be there.
Oh my god. I'm still absolutely in jitters over that single play. Just what are the chances? The stars have to align. Well, anyways, that round is done and dusted. Nebula on 3, OverPalaStrike on 6. Composed this time, holding passively, reasonably inside the garage angle. He doesn't want to peek this. If he does, he's going to be on the receiving end of the blades.
I know exactly where.
Well, that was the biggest tool that Nebula have in their bank right now, and they've made use of it so far. They're going to have to contend with Wildflower. Gets one before going down. Still a lot of work to do for Nebula. Yeah, you've got a couple of kills. But we've seen what happens. They've been at 3-3 in an eco round before, and it's all fallen apart. But this time, a Kraken wants to have something to say about that. The defender's going to be hopping around from their spawn exit. And it looks like Nebula still wants to commit to this seaside.
Oh, that juke was brilliant.
One enemy remaining.
With flashes, faces right up point blank with Chronix. Does lose the duel. He had a ghost after all. Now Chronix in a
30
1v2.
seconds left.
No neural theft to help him out. And nice hacks. Blade Storms are out with the lurk, just camping in the garage angle. If Chronix goes down there, he's going to be at the receiving end of a very, very pointy stick.
And the beauty of that position is if Chronix does make their way around to A, you know they're going to have to be coming from main. And a
Spike
Kraken
planted.
doesn't actually have any utility available. Has? Whose camera is
he
that?
didn't see
That
the
might be a
cam. That was
Kraken's
Chronix.
camera. Oh! A Kraken knows where it is.
Does he?
Sorry, Chronix knows where he is. Chronix's cam, I think, might have seen a Kraken's feet.
Oh, great
Maybe.
jump over the Cypher trap of a Kraken. A Kraken has no idea. Chronix,
No
okay.
more charges left.
It's in the cam,
does
it
get
knows
revealed.
what's going on.
Mm.
Yeah, repositioning smart, and you're going to see the jet coming out of heaven as well, likely. So, a very difficult situation for Chronix. Not even going to see where death comes from. And Nebula, they pull that one out of their collective behinds. That was an eco round, and they got the job done.
I'm pretty sure Nebula, maybe they were in a slight rut, or just playing a little bit too aggressively and not thinking with their minds. That reloaded triple collab probably sat them down and cleared their minds. That was a pretty good win, just turning the tides on against the full buy. Anyways, now they have money. It will be equal footing going into this round.
We're not going to see an op out of either team. Everyone trusting into the rifles. Perhaps Reloaded thinks they've used all their opping luck for this particular map, and they're happy to let it slide, let it go, as Elsa is wont to say. Very aggressive positioning, but Reload's going to be punished for it.
I wasn't expecting him to actually die. If anything, a Kraken should have had that kill. He had every advantage. Well, he did have that kill, actually, but I was going to say Reloaded knew where a Kraken was, but somehow just couldn't quite beat a Kraken to the punch.
This is a very aggressive play. Rhino takes the duel all the way down to C-Long against Jesse. A Kraken. Only a spray, but unfortunately, last player left. Paranoid, not going to be out. Oh, not last player left, sorry. Second last player left. And once again, leaves things up to Nice Hacks, who just trying to get a bit of value out of this round at this point.
Well, thankfully, Nice Hacks. The stars do align for him somewhat. He gets one kill and two sharp shots onto Composed. Headshots in a row. 1v2 now. This is very doable. Ozrana does have a resurrection available to him, but he has to be able to use it first. Nice Hacks. Tunnel vigiling just a little bit. Wasn't expecting a pincer attack from OverPalaStrike. He does go down. OverPalaStrike, 7-4.
It was an interesting approach there from OverPalaStrike. They played that defense very aggressively. They almost paid for it as well, particularly losing Reloaded early, coming out of a sewers towards the attacker spawn. But they were able to reconsider, regroup, and Nebula. I think I'm a little unfortunate there. They had the rifles they needed. The round was in their hands. Unfortunately, they let it slip through their grasp, and now they're looking on the potential 8-4 half. With this limited buy coming in, they got to be very wary of Reloaded on the op. Fortunately for them, that's looking down B.
Right
It's
here.
very quickly
Right
going
here.
over towards that C side, which is where the attackers are all stacked up.
I like Wildflower there. He was pinging just where the Soviet was most likely to land. And this is good. He's still holding the same old angle. Nebula, they have to check this, because if they don't...
The Nut doesn't see him! What are you... No, you can't be letting this happen. Wildflower sprays him down, and the shock dart is going to be... that one was a bit of a win. Unless that was Jesse's shock dart. Finally forced out of the position, but I mean, it's too little too late for Nebula right now. They've committed to this site. Spike's there, Digital. And Compose is back in the fight.
Rhino, finally uses the resurrection. I like how the Reloaded steers the cloud burst. Now Jesse, seriously, he's in a world of pain. 1v5. It'll take a miracle to pull this off. And the miracle does not come to fruition. Nebula, they lose the round.
Switching sides.
And ending the first half, halving the round score of OverPalaStrike right now. They need this pistol round, Temporal.
A brilliant first half out of OverPalaStrike, and I mean, I guess you look at that little bar in the middle of the scoreboard. It really tells the tale. OverPalaStrike dominated, not just 8-4 probably doesn't do it justice for how well they did it. You get rid of those first two rounds. 8-2 is more representative of how well they were playing. As we go into the second half, though, it's a chance for Nebula to reset a little bit, and they can hopefully pick up a similar or potentially even better defense. Right now, if they get that same start on the pistol round that they had in their first half pistol round, things might be alright for them.
Ooh, Minimize just dancing with fire somewhat. Spots out maybe 1 or 2 players and hears the footsteps. The tell is on and the side take! Oh, narrowly wins the duel, gets reloaded. There's Molotovs and he's paranoid. This guy is panicking right now. Unfortunately, the cavalry has arrived and it's an absolute bloodbath on side. Trades back and forth. What is going on? Doesn't pull the by himself. Yeah, nah. OverPalaStrike, they had the advantage. They had the attacking advantage. The element of surprise.
It was Nebula actually. They read that. They heard it coming. They got their defenders around, but unfortunately for them, there was just an absurd amount of utility there. You saw Wildflower spamming in those shock darts, making it difficult for Nebula to hold any decent angles to protect themselves. They had to step out, and all they did was put themselves in the OverPalaStrike strike lines. I'm doing a lot of analysis through a pistol round. Hey mate, it's a pistol round. Calm the hell down.
Oh, but pistol rounds are so important in this game.
Nebula ain't buying into this one. Just minimize with the shorty. Otherwise, OverPalaStrike, SMGs, and a little ghost for Wildflower.
Yeah, Nebula right now, the gamble stack essentially onto the C site. It's not paying off at all. Because OverPalaStrike, that Sage Wall is going to be really hard to bust with only pistols and small weaponry. The spike has been planted. Jesse is throwing out shock darts, trying to clear some angles. But yeah, this is going to be rough.
To be fair, this is the first time B has seen action the entire map. Right now, it's getting a lot of blood to kind of wet the floors. Hopefully someone will be along to mop it up shortly.
Ronix, he was in the camera, in the smoke, he was watching the whole time. Punda just using it wrong time, slightly to push. He's by himself. Here he has one kill, I think, with the classic, but look, against that many SMGs, wow, it was swift to take him down.
Gun here.
Indeed it was. I write that down. So another round winner on the board for OverPalaStrike. They're edging their way closer to this Map 1 victory. Given that this was Nebula's map pick. I'm just going to open up this thing and see. Yes, Haven was Nebula's map pick. So this is a good start for OverPalaStrike. They win this, they'll be going onto Icebox, which was their own selection. Out of what was remaining, that was Icebox Split and Bind. I mean, we can get there during the middle of the maps. Right now, Nebula need to pull their fingers out. It might be a little difficult here on Haven, but at least this round they've got something to work with. They've actually got the advantage given that they have full rifles and OverPalaStrike going for another bonus round.
Yeah, Minimize is going to have to help out his team real soon. Putting by himself on site. That's a lot of players to shoot. And that's a good kill. The timing favors him. Looking for a second. The position. The stage will triple from Punda.
One enemy remaining.
And oh no. Not like this. OverPalaStrike. They had sight. But the utility. Just the narrow margins. It just works against them. And there you go, Nebula, one buy round. They win it.
That wall that was so useful for them in the last round, not quite so. You saw Wildflower just it's able to, not Wildflower, sorry, Punda, able to hop up onto the boxes and see over it. It's unfortunate, but I mean, it shows you the power of Sage in that she can change the layout of a map as you play it, and the angles you thought you might have had when you're trying to retake a site or hold a site, suddenly gone.
I actually really like that that way of putting Sage's wall. I've never thought of it as changing the map in real time. But yeah, great example. Seriously, that was.
I credit Platchat Valorant with that. They're the ones that taught me about how to use Sage.
Oh, more plagiarism, huh? Well, nonetheless, Nebula a Kraken. The call has been made. The rotation's coming out from Nebula ASAP because it's a 5-man stack from OverPalaStrike onto the A site. A Kraken being patient and just waiting for his team to come and utility to come in before they attempt to retake. 5v5, this is going to be a bloodbath.
Spike is already planted. No team has seen hide nor hair of their opponent, but now it's going to be coming down. Once that wall goes away, it'll be a bit easier for the defenders to make their way back onto site. Nice little paranoia hands combo. Is going to see the jet out of position. Reloader goes down, but they trade out for a Kraken. Nice recon darts to spot all the defenders as they enter on site. They're mown down one by one. Punda, the last player left, and they get another Miracle 3K this round. No, not to be. OverPalaStrike on to 11 rounds. shutting down any thought of Nebula putting a second round win in a row on the board this half.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Right now, Wildflower for OverPalaStrike. 21 kills. This guy is putting the entire team on his back. The performance out of him this game has been monstrous. Just the sneaky angles, utility kills, even not that much. He's just been stepping up at every single corner. Nebula, oh, look at this. This is I wouldn't call it a force buy, but this is absolutely a buy. Nice hacks. What the Bucky and Ponder. Only a stinger. They need to win this round.
Nice. No one on the A side of the map apart from Nice Hacks. Everyone else hovering that C side, suspecting this might be the play. OverPalaStrike get onto site. Reloader gets one early. The paranoia ain't going to stop in OzRhino planting the spike. A wall plus level combination preventing any movement out of garage for the moment. Jesse guns down 2. Brilliant use of that ultimate ability as OzRhino cleans that one. Nice hacks finally on site. Beautiful play down C long. He's going to clean things up. Nebula somehow bring themselves back into this one. And move on to 6 rounds 1.
Well, like I said earlier, when the round started, they needed to win the round, and indeed, somehow they did. I wasn't expecting an OzRhino. He had such sneaky positioning. He was still on site for the longest time, and I do think it was Jesse. He had no clue OzRhino was so close on site. And that led to the demise of Minimize, that rhymes actually, who pushed out the garage angle. He had no idea. But nice hacks off of 2 really big plays. Clean shots, good crosshair placement, and accuracy brought the win for Nebula.
It's like Nebula enjoys a little bit of pressure. OverPalaStrike had that side lockdown this round. Neither team with a strict full buy, but Nebula going to have certainly a range advantage. Looking up towards B again, maybe the only team in the region that actually considers B a viable option on Haven. Who knows? Maybe it's just they're just treating it as a mid for the moment. The defenders maybe know something that we don't. They're pushing up quite aggressively.
Oh no, a Kraken.
Kraken, nice. Able to see around the dark cover and get away with their life.
What amazed me, Justin, was a Kraken. He jumped as well. The footstep, it was a dead giveaway, and yet somehow he wasn't killed. Reloaded with the aggression, pushing through the Molotov. But, oh no, wasn't expecting 2 players on the other side. Maybe he was, but the right click with the blades just went nowhere. That was a disastrous round for OverPalaStrike.
Some much needed momentum for Nebula. First time since the start of the map they've been able to string together 2 round wins in a row.
Oh, that's brutal.
Right here. Right
but
here.
You know what? Good comeback start from somewhere. 11-7 is actually not a terrible scoreline. You're just simply back to where you were at halftime. You know, 4 rounds behind. OverPalaStrike maybe a little less confident on this defense. Both teams buying full in and a very early Hunter's Fury coming through from Jesse, just shutting down any pushing through A.
No.
Unfortunately, not able to follow it up. Wildflower able to push their way through, find some value and get entry onto the site, but trades going back and forth. OzRhino brings Compose back. OverPalaStrike find themselves with a significant advantage.
Significant it is. The early aggression from Nebula just didn't pay off. I don't think the Hunter's Fury actually hit that many players, so Jesse had no idea that 2 players had already rushed so deep into the sewers angle, and you know, due to him in his ultimate and the sound disadvantage, he couldn't hear anything. I like this though, the cyber cage minimize, he's there to sneak onto logs.
Spike planted.
And, oh yes, the hitbox. OzRhino, man, narrowly dodged a few bullets there with the ponytail, but does finally get taken down 2-on-2 by Nebula. Slightly on the short end of the stick. Minimize. Oh, 4 HP. Not that made a difference. Yep, OverPalaStrike. Smart plays, patience plays, and then the pincer attack to take down Nebula. Match point.
Indeed. Gotta feel bad for Minimize there. I think that second dark cover gave away the position. Compose didn't know that the enemy Omen was hiding in that back corner, but once they knew, easy flick around, take care of the job. And now Nebula can't afford any more mistakes, but the second half, they've shown signs of life. And as I go back, actually these teams, the last time they played in their Rise of Valor, their first map was Haven, and it was a dominant showing on the first half from Nebula. Then, actually, I'm pretty sure it was on Nebula's attack. Yeah, so actually, yeah, it was Nebula who came up with a 9-3 first half on their attack.
Oh, but now
So it's
OverPalaStrike.
the tables have turned. My, how the turns table. In any case, map point, nice hacks, whipping out of the ops, hoping to make an impact here. Minimize, very aggressive into sewers, not going to be finding anything. First of OverPalaStrike pushing their way up towards A. Nebula knows they're there. The rotation's coming through thick and fast, but not going to be in time to prevent the spike being planted. They're going to have to try and defuse Digital, a player down.
Yeah, and to make things worse, OzRhino, there you go. There's the Sagel. I don't think Jesse is on the other side. Oh no, he has some advantage. It wasn't perfect, but peeks right into the welcoming arms of Reloaded. Down to the last 3 players of Nebula. This is looking almost impossible at this rate. The backs are against the wall. The bomb, the spike is ticking away. It's looking bad.
Oh, while the hits go down on site, Punda trying to get through A main, able to get the drop on 1. Nebula's coming back. They're going to have to rely on Punda, pushing everyone off. There you go, it's a 1v1.
Oh no.
Not going to be able to get the spike defuse. May just get the kill, but unfortunately runs out of time. That'll be it. OverPalaStrike. Pure Haven, 13-7. No matter the heroics that Punda tries to pull out.
Oh, look, Temporal, that was just really unfortunate, especially given that final round. For Nebula, it was do or die. They were fighting tooth and nail. I think they really almost had it, but then the patience and just not going too aggressive. Well, maybe it was a mixture of going too aggressive early on, and then not being aggressive enough at the end that really lost them that round. Punda finishing off with 3 kills, but just didn't have any more time to defuse.
Unfortunate, but sometimes them's the breaks. And Nebula, they will have a chance to reconsider. You know, this is a best of 3 map series. Thankfully, we're not one of those weird regions like Europe that just plays best of 1s the whole way through tournament. Who knows why it happens? Here in OCE, we make sure we have quality Valorant matches for you and run best of 3s. The question is, can Nebula make a difference on the OverPalaStrike pick of Icebox? That'll be the question which the teams... we're taking a break. All right. Sorry, I'll let you take us
out. Of course, it's okay. Well, yeah, indeed, that will be the question, Icebox. It comes down to which team they've scrimmed it more and have better strats. But seriously, I am eager to see what either team pulls out, and I'll try my best to keep up with the calls on Icebox. It's not a map that I'm very experienced with, and I guess that could make 2 of us. Well, guys, see you soon. In 5 or 6 minutes, we'll be back with more action. Map 2 of Nebula versus OverPalaStrike. Well, guys, welcome back. It's me, Digital QF, and Temporal. We just finished Map 1, Haven, of Nebula versus OverPalaStrike, and that was the birthplace of a triple operator collat, courtesy of Reloaded.
My heart still hasn't slowed down from that Digital, and I'm hoping to see that kind of magic going forward. OverPalaStrike, they've set themselves up well in this series. Haven was Nebula's map pick, and now as we move on to Icebox, both teams, I guess by necessity, will be less experienced on the map. Given it is the newest map in the pool, it wasn't even playable in the major tournaments at the end of 2020, even after it was announced. So there's very little professional play on the map for these teams, so I'll be curious to see what they're able to pull out. Have they been watching the other regions do the thing, picking up a few little tips here and there from the teams that are successful on it? Or maybe this is the little sneaky pick. Nebula didn't pick the map, but perhaps this is their best one. They've just hidden it from everyone else. So they've lured OverPalaStrike into a false sense of security, and they're ready to spring the trap and keep themselves in the series and drive us to a map 3.
Yeah, well, I really hope so, because personally, though, after that round, seriously, when you get killed by a single operator shot, 3 of your players go down instantly, and then Reloaded aces you as well, mentally, that has to be draining. Like, it has to be mentally shattering. Perhaps that may be attributed to why Nebula, they lost that map 1. But anyways, things are reset now. Like you said, map 2, maybe for Icebox, they are much more composed and have sneaky strats coming in. One player for OverPalaStrike was just on the potty for a moment, but now the teams are ready, and we'll be getting into Map 2, Icebox.
And while we're going there, it's a good idea. It might be a good time to look back at the last time these two teams faced off. It was in the Rise of Valor event leading up to First Strike at the end of last year, and that match was already very different at this point. It was Nebula who streamed ahead on the first map. Again, it was Haven, and actually this one finished 13-7. That one finished 13-10. But yes, already we're seeing a great turnaround from OverPalaStrike, and hopefully they can continue that going forward, not only in this match, but in the tournament. I'd like to see them get up there a little higher. They've done decently well across their history, but they've been at a level where they're trying to break into that kind of top 10, top 8 kind of list within the region. They've had they're good. They just want to take that next step to become a great team, and I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. They're already showing signs of life here, and maybe the changes they've made in the teams, whether they're subs or they've expanded their roster and they've got different people playing on different days. I'm curious to see which way it'll go.
Yep, I am curious indeed. And right now we are getting into the game, and I'll load it in. Both teams are. OverPalaStrike, like I said earlier, they up by 1. Let's, oh man, I do hope Nebula, they can turn things around for Icebox. And just as a little bit earlier in the game chat, was it Wildflower? He just wanted a shout out for his Twitter. That's Pex CSGO, Pecks CSGO on Twitter. And Reloaded, I think that was Reloaded AU on Twitter. So yeah, guys, the two players out of the 5 actually for OverPalaStrike. You can find them on Twitter. And while you're at it, you can give me a follow too. Digital QF and Temporal. That's Temp0RAL at Twitter. Well, Icebox.
That's how it let us. Yeah, I didn't think that through.
Well, yeah, it took me some time to actually get used to the spelling and finally adapt to be able to type it off by heart. I had to go on Twitter and find it every single time a while ago. Well, nonetheless.
Now, looky here. Enough about us, Digital. Look at what we're seeing. Sky and Viper coming into play. Sky minimized, so off the Sage, and actually Nebula's picked up the Sage. Oz Rhino, so very interesting compositions coming out from the teams. I'll be curious to see how they're played. Viper in particular is pretty good over on the A side. Actually, good on many spots on the map because there are so many tight turns and angles, particularly with the wall, with the smokes. You can cut off a lot of vision and make it very difficult for a team to push through them. In this case, it'll give OverPalaStrike plenty of cover on their attack.
All cover indeed, but no, that's why Minimize has the Sky. That single flashbang pops, and it gives them intel that there are a few players out mid.
The bird speaks.
Yes, it does. And Minimize still trying to play around the same angle, but meanwhile Jesse here already taking down the turret of Reloaded, not managing to get much out of it. OverPalaStrike now starting to focus more towards the B side. That's 3 players down mid. Punda, he'll be in a world of pain. Or should I take it back? That Boombot might just expose a few players in the kitchen angle. Brilliant flash.
There you go, the bird yells out once again.
Yep!
Minimize providing a lot of value here, not necessarily getting the kills, but alerting their team to where their OverPalaStrike is coming from. Right now, got Kitchen on lockdown. Punda. That's an interesting position right there. The Rays, of course, a lot of maneuverability, courtesy of the blast packs. But who needs some ability? If you're a Kraken, you've just got a turret doing the job for you. Finally taken down by the counter in Reload, and Ozrhino stuck in Kitchen. Has a friendly Viper for support, going to be providing the necessary healing.
30 seconds left.
Give Compose a little more survivability. Oh no,
Minimize.
been spotted. Oh, dearie me. You just didn't see Minimize at all.
Oh no, and the slow taps the classic at range. That's how he should be using that pistol. Ozrhino by himself now. There's about 10 seconds left. That's a good right click to take down Minimize. But that was all she wrote. Nebula, they pick up the pistol round pretty convincingly.
So much value provided by Minimize there, providing the intel and then finishing up a couple of kills themselves. Brilliant play. That's what we like to see. Bring out Skye. She's the Australian representative, and why not? In the OCE region, you should be playing a bit more Australian agents.
I wish I never heard that, but
What's wrong with me accent? It's just an Australian accent, mate. This is we're representing.
oh god, oh my ears, they're bleeding currently. Well, speaking of
Initially,
blood,
I was opposed to Skye being like really ochre Australian, but I've seen the light. I think that Ryan should lean into it and make her more Australian.
more Australia, and you know one thing that's really cliche about Australia, the really deadly wildlife. And speaking of wildlife, Jesse, the sneaky omen on the map. Oh, I guess already one kill, and that's brilliant as well. Skye, in case you guys don't know, is the second AoE, well not AoE, the second team healer for Valorant. Yes, Rana heals herself, and Skye can heal the team. Jesse already got the 2 kills, and I like the weapon combination right now. A Stinger and a Frenzy. 2 really fast-firing guns. They can switch freely between them. Nebula on the defense again, shutting down OverPalaStrike just about everywhere they go, Temporal.
I mean, that Stinger and the Frenzy is says a lot about where the meta is going right now. Just being able to churn out the damage at close range is what a lot of teams are opting into. And on Icebox, it's a good idea if you're going A. Lots of tight corners. You're not going to be really facing down any long angles, especially if you have a OverPalaStrike. You've got the Viper. You're not going to be able to take advantage of the wall, given that the post is down for the moment. Punda sees a couple goes past, gets a beautiful spray down. Chronix won't be long for this world either. Little upgrade to the Sheriff. Doesn't want the Frenzy. Oh, that was sorry. Didn't have the Frenzy. Yeah, brilliant play by Nebula. They've started strong with this map, and hopefully it continues. This is digital. This is what we saw at the start of the last map. First 2 rounds going Nebula's way, and then everything else was OverPalaStrike.
Oh my god, I hope that you didn't just jinx it. I think that was a force buy, actually, from OverPalaStrike in the previous round. And they're forcing back again? Are they? No, they're not. Only Chronix has a Marshal. Everyone
Maybe
else, Sheriffs.
Confuse this for ranked.
Maybe. Ranked is
Was this a best of 1? Yeah, we're done now. It's just a ranked game.
Oh, easy peasy. Well, OverPalaStrike, the previous round, last round, they lost their Sova really early on. They didn't have any intel. But right now, once again, trying to work the angles, work mid, and they're getting picked up one at a time by like flies. Wildflower, that's a great shot to Jesse. A side has been opened up for OverPalaStrike. The Sheriffs, even though you have limited bullets in the chamber magazine, you have a lot of players with Sheriffs. That could be the difference maker.
You don't need bullets if you're hitting all headshots. I mean, just don't miss. Simple.
Oh, just click the
In any
guns.
case, Nebula will be hoping they don't miss re-entering onto the site. Chronix. There you go, the headshots. See, it works. And they get one. Punda stuck in the nanoswarm, able to get out, tries to spray at long range, but that's not what the Stinger is for. That's it. Pull out this Sheriff, get one Minimize, also with a Vandal in hand. He's going to be the most deadly player around. Nanoswarm eventually takes care of Punda. Kraken gets one back. Trades going back and forth by the team, but it's going to be very difficult for Reloader to make an impact at this long range
no.
spike.
Player
Like, just
standing.
because no, it's denied.
Oh!
Reloader's done enough.
Oh
Holy
my
dooly.
god, Temporal, that was a ridiculous play by Reloaded. The angles just worked out in his favor. Kraken, he sort of had the right idea to protect his teammate and go in for the kill, but unfortunately, he wasn't aware that the conveyor belt angle just wasn't favoring him. If he stood by his teammate while the defuse was coming through, it was almost done, they would have won the round. But just perhaps map knowledge, what isn't quite there just yet for Nebula. But then again, I could be speaking too soon, and like you said earlier, history is repeating itself. Nebula wins first two, and OverPalaStrike, they strike back.
Swarm grenade out.
Full blind from everyone except Minimize, sticking with the Sheriff, but has the Seekers in play. See if
Turrets destroyed.
they're invested early, but will likely be used for a retake. Right now, a little bit of pressure over towards B. The Viper Wall's going to be, Toxin Screen's going to be cutting the map in half. Plenty of guns blazing, but so far no one quite wanting to show their face. Potentially have it blown off Digital. Fight going down, we might say no, it's going to be denied.
Denied indeed, and right now, however, Nebula on the short end of the stick again. Down a man. They still have minimized the Seekers to play with, and indeed, they get pumped out right now. OverPalaStrike, though, they got a few kills on the A side, and just couldn't quite commit to the plant. So very smartly, they decide to rotate to the other side of the map, A site, and already, Wildflower, he more or less has side control.
Seeker going.
I'm surprised
Swear
they
one
didn't
of
get a
those.
seat.
Oh, it was going. It was there was a Seeker going after Wildflower, so it just
30
bypassed
seconds
two
left.
other attackers.
Oh.
In any case, it's done its job. It's forced an emergency repositioning out of OverPalaStrike. Even
Last player
trades
standing.
2v2. Oh dearie me. Looks like Reloaded has detected coronavirus here on Icebox,
Spike planted.
sending everyone into lockdown.
Oh!
Kraken going down. There ain't going to be no counter lockdown now, even if the Killjoy had it built up, which they don't.
It wouldn't have happened
even
either
2v2.
way.
Deja vu.
Oh, I like that. Spitting rhymes out here, Temporal. But yeah, look, at the end there, Chronix, he was just delaying a Kraken so much, and then the Kraken at the very crucial moment, he whiffed a shot, and the Vandal spray pattern. It's sort of unpredictable. Chronix just juking around. The thin, sleek body of Jet managing to get the better of him. OverPalaStrike, 2-2, they've tied it up.
Indeed, here we see another light buy coming through from the defense. They've gone very aggressive, particularly up that B side.
Wow. Oh!
Oh dear, Punda! You who needs an ult when you've got the freaking Marshal in their hands. Takes out two quick headshots.
My allies.
Forces the resurrection early, so that's a nice play from Nebula. They'll be pleased with the value they've got so far. The question is, can they capitalize on it? Trailblazer spots a couple of players.
The dollar
They know the hit's going down. The question is, oh, the lurking nice hacks in the back line. Looking for someone to reposition.
No, no.
Blades, they miss!
Oh, he's a dash away. He does make it out actually in one piece. Jesse there to help his teammate out, gets one, and they get traded back instantly. OverPalaStrike down a player, and just as I say that, Oz Rhino strikes back.
So things were looking dicey for them, but they're on the up and up right now. No weapons, unfortunately, been able to be retrieved by Nebula, so they're still working on pistols only. Nice Hack has actually picked up the Marshal now. Still want the coverage that provides. Wall's going to provide plenty of protection for the plant. Question is, does the Kraken want to poke around the corner, try and deny it? No. Happy to give that one away and wait things out for the team to get into position to tighten and close space here. Maybe Frenzy will be coming up trumps in a small angled fight. Gets a drop onto Compose, but the answering kills from Rhino are good. The ace for the Sage. Brilliant play from OverPalaStrike to get the job done, but it was quite costly for them in the end.
Quite costly. They lost 3 players, but like I always used to say in this game, it's not about getting the kills, but it's about winning the rounds. And look, you called it. Nebula that won the first 2 rounds, and OverPalaStrike, they're coming back, so there might be some bad juju at play here. Oh, in terms of ultimates, Nebula on the defense, Jesse, one more point off of having the Omen from the Shadows cross-map teleport, but it's not going to do him much good on the defense. Plunder, that Showstopper, and the Kraken the Killjoy lockdown might be prudent to help them hold down our sights and stop the momentum of OverPalaStrike.
So a lot of force committed to A by OverPalaStrike.
Revealing area.
So far, there's still going to be 3 defenders there as well. So even if they push in, they'll be facing a fair amount of firepower. No rotations as yet.
Scout
OverPalaStrike,
destroyed.
considering their options, thinking, nah, we don't want to go this way. Perhaps looking to rotate back. The Viper wall goes up. They baited at least 1 rotation. You see minimize, still watching center, but not going to be able to see anything past the toxic screen.
Turret out.
A little bit of an opening now for OverPalaStrike.
Yeah, one thing I want to say though, I think Minimize, I mean, Nebula, if anything, they should be able to read the Toxin screen. Whenever it comes up, it does mean a rotation coming out from OverPalaStrike. A Kraken still being really patient, being a pain in the butts of OverPalaStrike. And this is what happens when you don't have a dedicated smoker for the team.
Spike planted.
Oh, 2.
Here we go, a Kraken.
Welcome
One
to my
One agent army coming up. Trump so far composed, lays down the Viper's pit. Try and make some space. Spike is down. The Showstopper gets one. Great going back and forth. The nice hack's the one in the end coming out on top. Nebula will get the defuse and level things up here again. 3v3. Looks like the. This is a phrase I'm trying to think of, and I just can't remember it.
It looks like an
So I'm
absolute
trying to
fiasco.
Right, the hoodoo.
Yeah.
The hoodoo is broken.
The hoodoo? What?
Hoodoo?
Explain, please.
So there's another word that's probably more common that fits in there. They're like a bad juju, the curse, the hoodoo is broken.
Oh, okay. Well, I've
Some
never
way
heard
of
of that.
indicating bad luck.
turret out.
It's a pretty Australian term, I think.
Oh, look.
I think we've discussed this on broadcast. I keep using terms you don't understand. And it just,
Absolutely, man. Come on, please. I'm so young. And besides...
sorry, you're right. No, I should be using more accessible language.
Oh, I'm not sure if there was a graphical bug, but the Viper toxic screen.
Yeah, there's a
Nice
screen
hacks.
missing.
He just walked right
Oh,
through
it's
it.
on top,
It's
of
on
course.
Oh my
If you
god.
put it through tube, it jumps on top at a certain point. It's very annoying. You know what's good in this situation? Sage ball straight down the middle.
Okay, composed there, maybe a little bit too composed, just standing still. Didn't see the green head of Minimize just walk right up and shoot him down.
Was probably wondering why the toxin screen wasn't there. It's thinking, hang on, how does this work? A little too caught in thought.
Blocking sight.
Also, I just want
Blocking
to take the
sight.
time to quickly mention,
I
thank
think
you for the raise,
Chronic's been
Komodo.
spotted.
Bomb grenade out.
Yeah, Kraken certainly saw the attack coming down. Comms went out. Not going to be silly and engaged right now. We're just going to rely on minimize.
Spike planted.
Gather a little bit of intel before they're moving. Spike goes down. OverPalaStrike. They've got the site covered, but not on lockdown, which is what a Kraken is teasing. Are they going to put it down? Going to be an obvious position. Maybe it can get burst through the wall, but I think the crate is in the way. Give them plenty of space for Nebula to move forward. They're going to
You will not
fake the
kill
defuse.
my
Beautiful use of the Hunter's Fury from
player
Wildflower. We're
standing.
going to stop a defuse for the moment. The resurrection comes through as well. In the end, the damage is done. Nebula down to that one person detained, but you're not going to be able to follow that one up. Punda surrounded on all sides, ain't getting the defuse.
Oh no.
Digital, OverPalaStrike put themselves back in the lead.
Yeah, they do by 1 round, and that was just disastrous. Nebula, you would think they had the advantage, but little did they know, a little Wildflower had the Hunter's Fury ready to destroy the lockdown. Ideally, if the lockdown was placed maybe closer or something, maybe if Nebula, they worked more aggressively, that would have been a really possible round, but overall, the flanks, the map positioning, and of course, the resurrection from Oz Rhino proved to be Nebula's demise. 3-4? Thankfully though, Nebula they can still bind to this round. Nice hacks. $5,000, 50 cal already invested.
We'll see how many walls that 50 cal can shoot through. Did have to sacrifice a little bit of shielding, but you know what? Doesn't really matter. You got the op is cover enough. Just hold it in front of you, deflect a couple of bullets. The Chronics on the high ground don't need no op to get the drop done on Punda. Jesse closed down at close range. Compose on site. Plenty of cover. Has the spike in hand. Cheeky little wall. No, don't plant there. Plant just behind here, please. A little bit of micromanagement coming out of Ozrhino. Hey, you'll take those.
Yeah, you do take those, and for the new viewers who actually don't know why he plants there, it's because when you plant there, oh sorry, forgive me, I'm not as experienced as crashing the camera, you can actually watch the watch the spike from a multitude of angles, such as where right now Reloaded is. It already has a Molotov lineup, actually, for the spike. So, wow. It seems of the two maps, of the two teams, OverPalaStrike, they are the team who has scrimmed and practiced the angles more than Nebula on Icebox. And Temporal, remind me, whose map pick was this?
This was OverPalaStrike's map pick. They
No
brought
more
us here.
silver.
And you know what? They probably had the time to practice this. They never play a scent. They ban it in every tournament they have. So limiting your own map pool, especially when you're kind of confident you're going to get at least one map ban, can give you the opportunity to practice these all the other maps. Maybe they like the weird maps. Maybe they like the Icebox. Maybe they like the split, and they've put a lot of focus into those, knowing that in a best of 3, chances are you're going to have to play at least one of them, maybe even the 2 of them. So far, it's paying off.
Yeah, it really is. 5-3 though. That's nothing exactly to write home about, but it could be real soon because Nebula. They were on full buy in the last round, but now it's a half buy. Oh, nice access! Really aggressive angle! And the best part right now, he's bought time. Jesse, hiding in nest. This could be the downfall. The knife in the back, between the ribs of OverPalaStrike.
Nebula certainly want to get something on the board before OverPalaStrike head off to a ridiculous lead once again. Jesse, nice position. Hiding in the boxes with the Sheriff. You know what? That's the job done for the Open. As long as you get 1 kill in a round like this, feeling pretty good as the defense. With enticing with death there, unfortunately Composed will get the better of that Ozrhino as well, picking up 1. Now the shoe is on the other foot. OverPalaStrike, 3 rifles in a close range fight is going to be very beneficial for them.
Yeah, OverPalaStrike, I like what they're doing right now. 3 players standing, and they're being so patient and making 0 noise, giving Nebula no intel to work with. Oh, minimize. He picked up the operator. That was deadly. Oh,
that no! Unleashes the Seekers, though, trying to give a Kraken some benefit. Most was spotted there. Drops the spike carrier, but in the end, 1 player too many for Kraken to deal with. Unfortunate, really there for minimize. Went for the op, I think, with just unfortunate timing. Picked around the corner, picked up the op, but then 2 players laid eyes on. And that was the end of that.
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure about Overwatch, but just then, I think that is what I would classify as a panic ult. Just instantly throw it out. But unfortunately, that is classic Overwatch right there. Oh shit, I'm in trouble. Oh Jesus, I've ulted and lost it. Thankfully, it comes back a little faster, so it's not as crucial. Yeah, if we get time for analysis, we can talk about that. But right now, we're going to come into this next round. Full buys for both teams. I say full buys. Nice hacks on a Bucky, and with those jet dashes, that could just be a nice close range weapon getting in there, getting dirty. So I'll consider that a full buy. Right now, the hit's going down on A. We're just seeing 1 player hovering up through the tube. Ozrhino looking for a bit of belly, maybe looking to see if any of the defenders hanging out there catch someone on the rotate. Going to have to deal with the Kraken though. Killjoy wary of that as the attacking lockdown goes down. Reloader looking to make some space, Digital. Yeah, and Jesse right now, I like what he's doing. He's going to go for the TP fake. Okay, no, he went for a real TP actually. He could have potentially faked it and then instantly pop right back and catch the last few players of OverPalaStrike on the sites while they're planting.
Was in the lockdown mid. I didn't want to get caught there.
Yeah.
Apologies, I shouldn't have talked through that.
Nah, all good, it's okay, but right now, Wildfire, this guy is so consistently good. This is Pex, CSGO at its peak. Here he gets 1 kill, OverPalaStrike, 3 men standing, and they can absolutely win this round. Minimize! He flashed himself, and in the attempt to get his bearings back. Oh no, this is just disastrous. 1 at a time. Nebula, the players are falling, but Nice Axe could be the man to get the job done. But he does go down. OverPalaStrike, just a better cohesion as a team.
Well, they're on a roll once again, 7-3. Shades of Haven coming through, and if they keep up this momentum, they end up with the same result. It will be them moving forward into the rest of the Open Qualifier and guaranteeing themselves a place in the closed qualifier coming through next week. So plenty to play for Nebula. They're going to turn the odds into their favor, it's
Let's
going to
fly.
have to start now. You don't want to be going into the half 9-3 down. It'll be very difficult to come back from there, even on icebox attack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nebula. Oh, that's a good dink by NiceHax. It wasn't much though. It wasn't a Sage who can self-heal. However, he sees, what was that, 3 players and makes a call to his team. Does get spotted out narrowly. And I do believe the spike is going to get planted by OverPalaStrike Temporal.
Spike planted.
And the Viper's Pit is going down, providing plenty of cover for the attacking team. They want to make sure of this one, keep themselves with a healthy lead. I wonder if Rhino's actually going to wait out the lockdown, just sit inside it. Oh, no, times it a little too slowly. Eventually gets out though. NiceHax on top. Able to gun down once. Raid's going back and forth now. NiceHax in good position. Doesn't quite get the drop, but plenty of intel. Compose gets a big square on the scoreboard. I don't know how that happens with the kill feed, but whatever.
One enemy remaining.
Jesse looking around, 5 health. Able to nail their 3rd of the round. The defuse coming through from a Kraken as well has to happen now. And with Jesse picking up their 4th, it will give a Kraken the space they need to finish that one off. Brilliant play out of the Omen.
Last
Nebula,
round before
they get
the
one
switch.
back. They're looking for another 8-4 half. Hopefully, though, for them, a 7-5.
Look, that was really close. Thankfully, Jesse, he was one shot away from dying, and he was there to protect his teammate while the defuse came out. Rhino just a second sooner on the trigger, and he would have clutched the round for his team. There was 1.6 seconds left on the defuse, so that really was coming down to the wire. And plus, Compose getting the big Minecraft block kill onto whoever it was.
Get out of my way.
That history is being made right now. I haven't seen a triple collat, and that was a Viper's Pit kill as well. Maybe.
Oh, yes, that makes a bit more sense. Riot evidently hasn't planned for anyone to get a kill using Viper. Like, shit, it's actually useful now. Let's get on with that. In any case, Viper, really useful for Compose. Gets a drop on Jesse. Gonna have the spike down as well. Showstopper over the top from Punda. Doesn't quite find anything. Nebula already down 2 players. Digital down a 3rd as well. Punda gets one back. Question is, are they going to get on? Last round and a half. There's no point in holding on to anything here. They're just going to go for it.
Minimize, I think he can actually kill his teammate. Indeed, he does. Punda spots one player mid, and thankfully that heal may have just saved his life. Minimize has to win this duel though, and he doesn't. Punda, he is a great raise, but by himself in the 1v4, things are not looking good. That's a great shot Composed. Clay Pigeon, 24 HP. He's dancing with the devil right now. He can't really risk. Subi sticking the defuse. And Rhino, the peak. Not that he had to anyways. They could have just waited, played the nano swing grenades, and the spike would have exploded either way. 4-8. And we are seeing shades of the of map 1 right now. Nebula, half the round score of OverPalaStrike.
Well, you talked about it before. The fact that Reloaded had the fact that Reloaded had those. No, sorry, it wasn't. Yes, it was Reloaded. That's switched sides. The fact that Reloaded had those Killjoy lineups down pat, waiting for the defuse to come through. Hearing the sound, yeah, the first one was a little off, but once the second one came through, it was pretty much do or die for Punda there. You either sit and try and stick it through the nanoswarm, or you face up to Rhino anyway, who's willing to cover the angle. Brilliant play out of OverPalaStrike, and we'll see if their defense is as good as their attack. Especially with that Viper wall cutting off a lot of avenues of approach for Nebula, it's going to be very difficult for the attacking team to bring themselves back into this match.
Oh, I think Reloaded, he got spotted by the little dog there. And he goes to the flash. And the nades, he gets distracted everywhere. NiceHax runs right on and gets the kill. But Punda kills NiceHax, the team kill. Not like this. Oh no, Wildfire shot darts as well. Down goes Punda. He has to be regretting throwing that paint shell now.
I had the right idea clearing out the angle. Unfortunately, didn't expect the friendly jet to be there and having finished off the kill already. Trade's still going back and forth in the way. Kraken with an opening, but it'll be a little too much firepower. Surrounded on all sides. OverPalaStrike, a brilliant start. And the pattern continues. Digital. 8-4 first half. OverPalaStrike winning the pistol round in the second.
Yeah, I really thought Nebula would have had that in the bag. They had the right idea with the aggression, you know. Clear the angles and the jet dashing onto site, as you should be. Human flashbang. But then the team kill from Punda, that probably just threw a huge spanner in the works. And then OverPalaStrike, you know, not a team to let any advantage get the better of them. They swoop right in with the flank as well. No way for Nebula to win.
Now, just with the little things you got to figure out, you can make sure you know who's clearing what angles, what utility can kill your friendlies. Not everything does it. We talked about it for a little bit. You can shoot your teammates. You can't throw utility on them. Chronic's a nice close angle. Going to burn down one close for support. Chronix drops down. Wait a second. Close goes down. Oh, the dash! How does Chronix survive that? Picks up the third. The job is done. It's now just Jesse left. Free Stinger. Unfortunately, surrounded on all sides. Not even able to get the spray down. Wildflower cleaning that one up. OverPalaStrike already on double digits. They are 3 rounds away from the closed qualifier.
3 rounds away, and the window of opportunity to come back for Nebula is seriously closing fast. Right now, they can only afford to half-buy Sheriffs and Light Armor. But, oh look, Chronix, that was a genius big brain play. It was a huge risk, but paid off massively. Just juking around the containers. Nebula, they were scratching their heads trying to figure out where they were. I crack him for crying out loud. He body blocked Chronix with the jet dash. Now Nebula, hopefully they win this round.
Standing ahead.
Question is, what can they do with the tools they have? I mean, reloaded a Marshall, not usually the greatest of buys, but it's easily outranging anything. Okay, maybe not quite outranging the Sheriff, especially when it's in nice Hack's hands. Wildflower waiting up on the high ground. This is OverPalaStrike. They know this strat is effective. Put someone on the high ground, you know it's going to work, especially if you're spraying into an armory disadvantage. And a clean round coming out, only losing 1. They move on to 11 points. The question now is Digital. Do they buy into this one? Do they go for another bonus round?
I think OverPalaStrike, they can absolutely afford to play the bonus because you're up by so many rounds. There's no reason not to. Reloaded. More than enough money in the bank to play with the Vandal this round and be able to buy, even if they lose. Chronix, you saw how deadly he was with the Guardian. He has Bladestorms online as well. There is no reason for OverPalaStrike to invest any more into this round. They are confident and they have the room to work with. Oh god.
Oh dear. Chronix goes to the Blades, gets one. The Kraken going to shut that one down before it can get going any further. Sees the wall out once again, cutting a lot of avenues of approach off between mid and B. Once it drops, Compose in a sneaky little position here, getting behind Jesse. May just get the drop on the Omen. No, Jesse checks the corner. Smart play from the Omen. Taking care of that one. That could have been disastrous for them, but finally Nebula find themselves with a little bit of an advantage. They've got the player numbers, and they just have to poke onto the site, and to make their way towards A Digital, there's a lot of Killjoy utility there to counter it. Looks like that's not going to be the case anyway.
Yeah, it's not going to be the case, but Oz
You should
Rhino,
run.
perhaps he should have committed into falling back all the way, because there's not much he can really do right now. There's a smoke. At the best, play this long distance, but with only a Spectre, things really don't help him out. Wildflower of the Guardian, maximum wall penetration, and that's a common plant spot. And it was the bang
30
of
seconds
Nebula
left.
for now. 30 seconds left. The spike is down. They can still win this round, but they need to get their chops together. Oh, clearly, and make something happen.
Wunda sneaking their way up into the kitchen. Gonna pass by Wildflower, but of course they're on different levels. They don't see each other. A Kraken gets 1. 10 seconds left on the clock. The plant has to go now, but Nebula have the numbers.
Spike
Got the
planted.
spike down now. The pressure on Palastrike. They're going to be coming back. Vandal and a Spectre versus 3 Vandals. They're going to be favoring Nebula all the way here. Can they hold on?
1 enemy remaining.
Ooh, and indeed they do. Diamond hands, they just hold on to the monkey bar and manage to win the round against, I wouldn't really say all odds, but Wildflower, he made life really difficult for Nebula, just for the narrowest time frame in that round.
Turret out.
Indeed. My apologies. So both teams able to buy into this. As you said, OverPalaStrike, they had plenty of creds to work with. This round doesn't pay off. They will be on the back foot. Chronix unleashing the Operator. Gets birded. But able to follow up onto Punda in any case. Wildflower's ult didn't find anything. Might have cleared a little bit of space, but right now, Nebula already a player down. They'll be looking for someone to go, and if they go towards this B side, composed, ready and waiting. Once again, very aggressively. The question is, can Jesse figure it out this time? Once again, the Omen suspects, but not able to finish things up. Trade either way. Still favouring the defenders, though. OverPalaStrike. Trailblazer won't see composed.
Oh, that's huge, composed. They've definitely screwed this map, but well, just as I say that.
Oh, the Nano Swarm. Brilliant work. A Kraken knew. Didn't need the intel. Just
He figured
I
it
think
out.
I know where that Viper's going to be hiding out.
Or maybe actually on the mini-map, the players may have not seen it, but maybe they saw something on the mini-map. Oh, which is good game sense.
True. Maybe a little red question mark.
Nebula, a man up. The plays are good. Deja vu of the previous round. The players are split up now, reloaded, about to peak real soon, and
player standing.
second guessing himself. A Kraken doesn't let the opportunity get the better of him. Takes down the opposing Killjoy. Chronix by himself and should be looking to save at this point. You have an operator. That's a $5,000 investment. You don't want to lose it in a 1v3. A very low chance of clutching. Oh.
Oh.
You must be joking.
Oh no. Thought Nice Hacks might poke the barrel out there, but Chronix and then gets the better of that one. Yeah, they're gonna bring this in, and Chronix I think had 1600 creds anyway. Reloaded can buy as well, so Chronix buys for someone. They can get a decent effort into this.
They can,
Or they might
but
just use the save. Nah, they might just use the save here.
yeah, exactly. Just let Chronix go free, go wild, get a few kills. Because if you do force this and you lose, Nebula, they're going to be in a pretty good position to mount a solid comeback. So yeah, this is probably, it is the best play that OverPalaStrike can hope for. Just let Chronix do most of the heavy lifting and hope that that $5,000 50 cal can take down most of the players on Nebula.
Get out of my way!
Oh!
Nice Hacks opening out with the Blaze Storm already. Any player that didn't buy into this round. Looking for the long range blades. Doesn't find any value, but Jesse does. Composed once again, trying to hold around that B side. Unfortunately, doesn't quite pay off. Chronix gets one.
Right here.
Oh!
Again, finding the pick on the Nice Hacks. So far this round playing out like the last one when it came to who kills who.
Enemy tagged.
But Nebula, they don't want to stick around on this B side. They feel like they might have baited out enough of a rotation that A is going to be the way to go.
Yeah, and the read is correct, because OverPalaStrike, all the last three players dedicated over onto the B sites. Well, I say last three, I missed the Killjoy
rotations
actually.
now.
Still 4v4
Plenty of ult.
reloaded.
Reloaded only has the bucket though.
Yeah, this is problematic, but Killjoy util defense on the A side will help him somewhat. Oh, but no, the range doesn't help him at all. Punda with the off angle, catches reloaded, pushing down 20 HP, and Jesse with the aggression. That's a player down now, and the room for error is getting really close to
30
OverPalaStrike.
seconds left.
Wildflower strikes
Spike
right back,
planted.
and things are getting dicey temporal.
Also picks up a Vandal, so a little bit of an upgrade now for OverPalaStrike. They got the Vandal, they got the off, plenty of cover available to them. The heal, though, from Minimize. Keep everyone in Nebula topped up. Won't be able to restore the shield, but at least they'll have 100 health to play with. Onyx takes care of the turret. They're on the high ground. Not going to need to see Wildflower underneath. Minimize takes care of that one. Jet takes down Punda as
remaining.
well. Minimize levels things out again. Once again, Chronix finds themselves the last player digital, but not going to be able to get the defuse. Holding onto the op. I just feel like things are repeating themselves. They're getting the same scores across map, same round wins across map. And once again, Chronix last player left with the operator in hand.
Yeah, thankfully, you know, that round really did play out like how we talked about earlier. Just let Chronix get some kills, but stay alive. Thankfully, he did, and the save round coming out from the rest of the team worked reasonably favorably, you know. They got some kills. It wasn't enough, but...
Well, to get to a 1v2 in a save round is
Oh, yeah.
still a decent effort.
You do have to give them props for that. So right now, OverPalaStrike, they still have a 4-round advantage. Could be looking for more. Nebula, they are starting to warm up though, so we could be seeing a turn of the tables, I would say.
Well, this time, Composed not wanting to hold that short angle. The wall is still there, so Nebula, plenty to consider. Is the Viper going to be there? No, the wall comes
Whoa.
down, not seeing anything. Reloaded? That was a very long range kill. Sitting out the back. Oh, okay, not all the way onto the platform at the front of A. The Killjoy going to reposition around the outside. The utility there. An early warning system. The defensive Viper wall providing cover for the attackers to rotate back through their spawn. But Composed is hunting for a target. That wall's going to go down. There's going to be a great position now for the Viper to get behind.
I really like how Wildflower is using server utility. He's not throwing it out ASAP, but he's just buying as much time as he can. And when he does use it, it's just buying so much more time for OverPalaStrike to figure out where Nebula are hitting. And now the recon arrow reveals intel, and the rotation should be coming out real soon.
30 seconds left.
Comes the very aggressive Killjoy ult from the defense. It's going to stop a plant coming through. It's a nice play out of that. They're burning time off the clock with only 20 seconds left. It's going to be Nebula doesn't really have any opportunity to do anything. They're essentially relying on OverPalaStrike to play far too aggressively and expose themselves. There we go. They're rushing in. But the defenders are waiting. Reloaded. What a position. Carrying the round for their team. Just 2 seconds left. That will burn down, and that was the Reloaded show right there. Once again, just picks around and says, this is the one I win for my team.
Yeah, he was just holding steady like a good Killjoy should be on the A site. Even deployed the Nanoswarm grenade early just to delay time by that much. Now match point for OverPalaStrike. Nebula, dire straits. Fortunately, they aren't exactly in a rough position. They still have money and they still have a full buy. This is their last chance though, do or die.
Indeed it is. At least we'll be able to full buy in this round, so we're coming in at a disadvantage. A little bit to work with. Showstopper. Could stop the PalaStrike show. Taking down Composed is a great start. Nice hacks. Nice position, but that's your team. You're not going to be killing any of those people anytime soon. The hit's going down, Digital. B, a 5-stack coming through from Nebula. They want to make it stick.
Yeah.
Oh no, look the other way!
Oh
no!
He had no idea, Chronix.
Oh, things falling apart for Nebula. Showstopper shut down. Chronix pops out with their second. Minimize stuck in the corner. The attackers split.
Last player standing.
Rhino chimes in with one, and now a Kraken, the lone player remaining. Bit of utility, but it's Killjoy utility. Just sits on the ground, doesn't do anything. Gonna be hunted down. Oh, Digital.
I think
OverPalaStrike have this one in the bag.
Yep, 4v1 now. A Kraken! There he made reloaded. Killjoy action. The Ferrari peak. Down he goes. Nebula, 13-7. They get taken out. OverPalaStrike, they move on. Top 16 to top 8 now.
OverPalaStrike, what a way to redeem yourselves after being knocked out of the last major tournament by Nebula in a 2-map series. Turn things on its head, take out both maps 13-7. Actually, identical scores across both half too. 8-4 first half, 5-3 second half. So nice little pattern recognition there. Wildflower once again, top in the scoreboard. This time though, not streets ahead. Chronix not far behind. Actually, if I'd sorted by KDA, Chronix is on top of the scoreboard this time. But Wildflower up there once again. I mean, just stellar play across the board from OverPalaStrike, particularly on Icebox. They had the strats they needed to get the job done. It just worked, and I particularly enjoyed seeing Chronix coming in on the Viper. It's a weird pick in the history of Valorant, in that Viper hasn't been played much, but teams are finally discovering her value.
Yeah, teams are, and one thing about her utility, especially her, her Viper smoke, I think it actually is the biggest smoke in the game. It looks small, and you can pick it up though. You only get one, but when it actually does bloom, it covers so much space, and it does damage as well. So overall, the only thing you could say is it was pretty obvious which team had more practice on Icebox. OverPalaStrike, they knew the lineups, reloaded, nanoswarm grenades, composed with the really big brain plays, playing in and out between his toxic screen and also the lineups for the smoke grenade. And Nebula, just perhaps slacking a little bit. They weren't checking all the corners, and that final round, you saw Punda had the right idea, go aggressive with the showstopper. Just didn't fully check all the angles, was panicking a little bit too much. It was match point, and they had quite some room left to cover. So yeah.
Indeed. Well, OverPalaStrike will move on in the tournament. They've guaranteed themselves a place in the closed qualifiers now. The rest of the tournament is purely for seeding. They will go on to face Demon, which is a devilish-looking team, if I might say so. They've been doing storming their way through the competition. They've got some fantastic talent. So a real challenge now for OverPalaStrike. I hope they're able to succeed there. Nebula, they are out of this tournament, trying to get to close qualifier 1, but they will get another opportunity, another couple of weeks, more open qualifiers. They can have another go at it, and they've shown by getting this far into the top 16, they have the goods. They know they can get there. The question is, can they just tighten a few little screws? Maybe also get a little bit of luck. Who knows? Maybe it just wasn't their day.
Yeah.
But I look forward to seeing both these teams as they move forward in this tournament overall and in the Oceanic Valorant scene in its entirety.
Looking forward to see people. I have reloaded, actually, the captain of OverPalaStrike here. It's just for a quick interview. And yeah, we're hoping he picks up. Hello, is this reloaded?
Ring.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay,
Hello.
that is some 1980s VHS audio quality.
Yeah, it's a Logitech headset.
Ah, I see. So the earlier take was a little bit more.
So you can say that.
Well, hey man, reloaded, OverPalaStrike team captain, congratulations, 2-0, pretty convincing. And I have to say, you guys have scrimmed and practiced a lot on Icebox, that's correct?
Yeah, it's probably one of the maps we've been working on the most lately, just because I guess a lot of teams wouldn't be working on it. But I'd say it's probably one of our favorite maps to play now, because we get to switch up the roles a bit. So I usually play Jet, but we chuck our Chronix on Jet for this one. Get the Viper out as well.
Well, I see, actually, you guys absolutely killed it. Composed, he knew the lineups for all his utility, reloaded as well with the Nanoswarm grenades. Just more practice. At any point, did you guys find the matchups to be challenging throughout the two maps? Any sweat?
I think the beginning of it, to be honest, because we had to use a sub, so we didn't have our in-game leader. So I guess just right off the bat, we were a bit, well, I was, I guess, a bit annoyed by that. But no, it was fine in the end. We got through with it.
Yeah, you really did. Sorry, Timur, go.
How were you feeling coming into this match, particularly given the last time you faced Nebula, it didn't quite turn out so well for what was Kanga Esports at the time?
I think that was the old roster where Rhino and Psycho were playing, but we were fine with it, to be honest. That that match, they were just feeling a bit off, so we're pretty confident we take this tonight.
Wow, confident even with a sub Oz Rhino. So then who's your usual in-game leader, your fifth?
Mist.
Oh, Mist. All right. Well, I hope he's watching from the sidelines and feeling proud of the boys. Congratulations once again, man. Any last words or shout-outs you want to give out on stream?
Yeah, shout out to my own Twitter. I just want Scream to notice me. If you can just, like that tweet, get him to notice me, it would be nice. Sean Garrels was nice enough to tweet back at me, but I don't know, Scream's a bit busy. Also to all my teammates, Bex, played brilliant on both maps. Chronix, Oz Rhino as well for subbing in, and Composed for calling there. And I guess also Nebula as well for turning up, because I've seen there's like so many teams just forfeiting. It's nice to actually be able to play.
Ooh, right. Well, pretty good sportsmanship coming out of this man right here, the team captain for OverPalaStrike. Any last words from you, Temporal?
And none from me. Thanks for everyone. But just congratulations on that three kill collab. That was
History.
That was something else.
Yeah.
Just lined up for you.
Maybe if you tweet that at Scream, he'll actually notice you. But hey,
Notice
I'm
me,
going to find out.
yeah.
We'll see.
Well, man, you go have some rest and be ready to play tomorrow.
Yay.
Well, Temporal, there you go, man. You heard it from the captain of OverPalaStrike. 2-0 against Nebula. It was a pretty solid win, I think.
That was a really good win. They just showed class across both maps. They had their strats nailed down and they were able to pull them off. So good luck to them. As I've already said before, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to show in the rest of the tournament, particularly when we get to those closed qualifiers and finally the Stage 1 finals.
Yeah,
Until
Stage 1
then, I mean,
finals
they got to get
tomorrow.
through. They got to get through the seeding matches first to try and get a good seed.
Yeah, tomorrow I think it's gonna be the quarters and who was it? OverPalaStrike? Yep, against Demon, like you said earlier.
Demon. Yep.
But yeah, Demon, guys, in case you don't know, this team is ridiculously stacked. You have Gaza, who I think is CSGO old blood, Ferg, Legacy Ferg, a well-renowned CSGO player and a really good IGL, Swirl. This kid is cracked. The Iranian prodigy. What is he, like 19 years old? 16? I don't know. But his reflexes and his hand-to-eye coordination is ridiculous. You see his stuff on
16.
Twitter. 16!
16.
Prodigy, absolutely. Signed as well, same age, I think. The ex-Overwatch star from New Zealand.
I'm clicking as fast as I can. Doesn't say on his Twitter.
Oh, well, fair enough. But yeah, man, like you said, Demon, that's going to be a huge game for them versus OverPalaStrike tomorrow. I wish both teams the best. Guys, that really is all from us. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you, Komodo, for the raid, if you're still here. Apologies starting a little bit late today. Just a little bit of backstory. Melbourne is going back into lockdown for 5 days, so I was hungry, and I stupidly ran out to get my last bowl of ramen. So that's why the stream
That
started
ain't
a
stupid,
little bit late.
mate. That ain't stupid. I know where you went, and the ramen in Melbourne, there's some phenomenal places there. Just haven't been able to get in since we've all been stuck at home. Good Lord, I'm looking forward to going back into the city at some point.
Well, 5 more days, maybe we'll see you at Fortress. Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. You can give me a follow on Twitter right here on my channel, or on on Twitch, actually, right here on my channel, or on Twitter at DigitalQF. Same goes for Temporal, my lovely co-caster. On Twitter, that is Temp0RAL on Twitter. Do tune in tomorrow, though. We will be casting more of the Valorant Oceanic Tour. The quarterfinals, it will be Mindfreak versus Paradox Gaming. Any last closing words from you?
Happy New Year to all the Omen mains out there.
Happy New Year to Omen mains. So probably just the crunchy. Oh, and last thing, guys, it'll be 1 p.m. tomorrow. Mindfreak versus Paradox Gaming. See you guys then. And once again, thank you very much.